Lately, there's been a lot of talk about the US-Mexico border. Ironically, the biggest problem concerning the border isn't an immigration issue or drug cartel related. It's actually an ongoing environmental disaster, a crisis that requires urgent cooperation between the US and Mexico to be fixed. This threat is jeopardizing the health and well-being of millions of people and animals in both countries. You see, our ocean knows no borders. When it rains, millions of gallons of untreated sewage, along with dangerous chemicals, heavy metals, and thousands of pounds of trash, flow into the Pacific Ocean and travel up and down the coast, polluting our coastlines and marine environments. This threat is an increasing burden on not only marine life and coastal recreation, but the massive economies that these coastal communities support. We're here in the US-Mexico border in Goat Canyon. This is a catch basin, and this is how it looks like. It's a swamp of chemicals and heavy metals and full of plastic waste. And right beside us is one of the biggest wetlands of North America that should be actually protected, and this is the treatment it gets.
You just have to read the paper to see that people get sick here. I have a former Border Patrol agent. He was training for our BORSTAR unit. That's our Border Search, Trauma, and Rescue unit. It's very elite. They train with the Navy SEALs. Well, he was training out with them, which is in this water.
Yeah.
And he woke up with this bad fever. He didn't want to wash out, so he stuck it out. But then his arm swelled so much that he'd go to the ER. He had flesh-eating bacteria. He almost lost his arm.
Estamos en este momento en el Cañón de los Laureles. Podemos ver cómo muchas casas no están conectadas al drenaje de aguas residuales, y lo que ocurre es que su drenaje termina en el cañón, y podemos aquí ver todos los escurrimientos. En este momento la niña va cruzando. Ay, hermoso. Y esa es una situación de salud pública muy grave, porque los niños están viviendo en estas áreas. Aquí huele muy mal y están constantemente ellos respirando toda la materia fecal que corre por aquí, más otras cosas que debe de haber, además de bacterias, lombrices, virus. Y toda esta agua termina en Estados Unidos, en el cañón de la Cabra. Estamos a un lado de bajamar, viendo las aguas residuales ya tratadas de la planta de Punta Bandera, que están llegando directo al océano. Me he enfermado de conjuntivitis, me ha enfermado del estómago, infecciones estomacales, y me he enfermado de infecciones del oído. También he escuchado que surfers se han enfermado, que salvavidas se han enfermado también por entrar cuando el agua está contaminada. Pues no existe esa frontera realmente de la basura ni de la contaminación del agua, y nos afecta a los dos.
So we're here in Imperial Beach, one of the most beautiful beaches in Southern California, and if I get in the water right now, I could get hepatitis, flesh-eating disease, staph infections, and any sort of unknown viruses.
I've been sick many times, double ear infections, things like that. All the surfers in the South Bay, we all get sick. It's just part of living here.
I got a staph infection twice, and that's super scary business. It can turn into a blood infection. You can die. I have a friend that has hepatitis. I mean, we've all experienced it. Both times where it tasted metallic. When we got out, one of them I threw up right there on the sand.
Nosotros organizamos una limpieza de playa el año pasado, y en esa playa yo estuve allí dentro de horas de volver, y yo ya tenía fiebre, me sentía muy mal, me dolía el estómago, y yo estuve enferma 3 días después de ese evento, y solo porque fui a recoger basura en una playa.
Tú trabajas aquí desde San Diego, pero también trabajas del otro lado de la frontera, ¿no? Trabajas en México. ¿Me cuentas un poco de qué manera tratan este problema de las aguas negras y de la polución del océano?
Sí, bueno, en mi trabajo aquí con la Fundación Surfrider como coordinadora de políticas, se descubrió que las playas en Baja California, en Tijuana, que pegan aquí, o sea, al lado de la frontera, están contaminadas. Sí. Pero no hay ningún anuncio, no le dicen a la gente que las playas están sucias. Yo he ido a las playas, he hablado con la gente que vive allí, las familias, hemos organizado limpiezas de playas y me dicen, Gabriela, ¿sabes qué? Yo nunca sabía por qué mis hijos se enfermaban. Es súper complicado porque aquí nuestra ley de agua limpia es diferente que la ley en México. Claro. Entonces la cuestión es, bueno, ¿cuál ley manda?
Blue Water Task Force is an education, advocacy, and citizen science water quality monitoring program. It's entirely volunteer-based. They go out once a week and sample and then process the results, post them, and then we distribute the results out into the community. And we also want to work to educate the public about what that data means for their health. So what's the difference between a green rating and a yellow rating for your health and safety specifically?
We know there's rampant pollution in the Tijuana River Valley, and it's a real problem for the nearshore waters. And here, what's been happening with Surfrider Foundation is over a decade of public outreach, education, advocacy to address the problem. But after 10 years, we saw that the problem was not improving, it was actually getting worse. Ultimately, the US government is in charge of the water quality in the Tijuana River Valley. They're responsible for the wastewater, the discharges, the heavy pollutants, and it's not being addressed. So Surfrider Foundation is suing the federal government, the IBWC, for Clean Water Act violations of their permit and of their unpermitted violations. Surfrider wants definitely some infrastructure upgrades. Additionally, we're asking for monitoring, reporting, and maintenance to happen on a very scheduled basis and to get that reporting out to the public so they know when the water's clean and when they can go to the beach.
What we learned about today is that it's not about the border and just building a wall between these two communities, Mexico and San Diego. It's about actually working together and finding a solution. Go to surfrider.org to learn more and take action.